panel, and in some cases when you're doing extensive work, it's good to remove the chaff unit, which has 2 bolts on the bottom and the clamp on the top. But if you're able to get to it without having to do that, you can just take the 4 bolts off the back panel of the BC5. You can actually, with the gas turned off on your tank or unhooked, you can actually turn on your roaster and test the igniting system. You can see we have the gas off, but we're testing the igniter. After about 5 seconds, for safety, it cuts off the gas in the igniter and does this alarm beep. But if you have a problem, where the buzzing is intermediate or it doesn't buzz at all, there's a good chance that your igniter needle is either damaged or out of a line. And it can be aligned with the 2 bolts that are up in here. You need to get a hexagonal wrench and adjust them and move it forward or move it backward. We'll show you a diagram of where it should be in reference to the heat element, or the burner, I should say. If after adjusting the pin or the needle, it still does buzz intermediately, and either the gas lights up and then keeps going out or keeps buzzing, you probably need to replace the needle. If you replace the needle and that still doesn't fix the problem, there's a couple other things that it could be. Over here where your gas line comes in is a solenoid. That solenoid is designed when you press the igniter button on your control panel. It also says baking button. It sends an electronic signal and opens up the solenoid, allowing gas to go through. If this unit is damaged, it might, or if you're using a voltage converter that's either not set up right or not working properly, it may intermittently open up that valve or only open it up part way, then shut it down, causing the gas to go off. If that's the case, you'll need to replace that, which is pretty simple. You'll likely have to open the back panel or the front panel to get to the wiring, but it's basically taking the valve off, replacing it with a new valve, and then rewiring the 2 wires into the wire terminal. If you still have a problem, and this will be last of all, inside the electric room here, down at the bottom on the back, is a actual igniter attached, which can be replaced. That igniter hooks in with a plug-and-play wire harness, and also has these 2 wires that go to the igniter needle. And it's pretty simple to fix. You can pretty much see it as a couple bolts on the inside back panel, and then you snap the wiring and then rewire this to another igniter needle, or to that igniter needle if that one's working properly. And that's the entire starting system. That's everything that's needed to get your system up and running. As you can see, I found it easier to remove the entire chaff unit so I could get to the part. In this instance, I noticed that the igniter needle had one of the needles loose on it. The ceramic in there must have came loose, or the glue or whatever, and it broke, so I'm going to go ahead and replace it. You may be able to see here, when I pulled this out, you could see the ceramic or the adhesive had come loose, and this entire wire is moving around. And this particular needle is the one that detects flame. These 2 are the ones that spark together, creating the spark that starts the fire when the gas comes out of the burner unit. But this one is the one that detects flame. If it doesn't, if it's not in the flame and doesn't detect it, it'll keep the buzzing even when the machine's running. Or in this case, because it was damaged, it was buzzing intermediately. It needs replaced. 2 bolts with nuts are what holds that on. You just pop those off. Pop off the wires here. You may need a screwdriver or pliers to carefully pull them off, and then put in a new igniter needle and follow the same procedure to set it back up. If you're having problems getting to the part, you can always take the burner system out. You need to turn this counterclockwise. On the B5, it's a 14 millimeter wrench that you use to turn to get that loose, and then you've got 2 bolts in the back holding the burner system onto the wall of the roaster. Remove those and then you'll have access to the whole system. If you don't want to take out the whole burner, you can just loosen one of the bolts and the whole burner system will turn sideways, making it a lot easier to get to your the bolts for replacing them. Once you replace the igniter needle, before you reassemble it, while the gas is turned off, it's a good idea to check to make sure the igniter's working. Alright, that's the safety to turn it off, but the 2 on the left are to ignite it with the spark. The one on the right is to detect the gas. So as you can see where I've got that lined up in there, it will detect the flame once it lights.